Oh, I could be really snarky. Hey BookTube, it's Kim at middle of the book march. Okay, so this is going to be a different kind of bookish week. I finished 2 books, but I can't talk about them. And one of them is Betty by Tiffany McDaniel, and I read this for the Critical Chicks Book Club, who haven't met yet. We meet next week, so I can't talk about that one. And Lost and Found, a memoir by Kathryn Schulz. This is the first book I read for the 2023 BookTube Prize in Nonfiction. Can't talk about this one either. Okay, that's it for the video. See you later. Thanks for watching. No, that's not what I'm going to say. You know, I've got books on the go, currently reading, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. But the more interesting part of the video is I am going to talk about a response to another video from MJ of Reading This Life. And what she did is she posted a question or some thoughts about, does book size matter? And yeah, and I thought this is so interesting. I am so going to respond to this because I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. So I've got 2 piles. I have a pile of short books and I have a pile of long books. Now, when you consider the question, does size matter? Size in books basically means length. And does it matter how long a book is to consider that you read a lot of books? If you say you've read 20 books, but they're all less than 100 pages, did you read 20 books? Is it the same if each book is 100 pages? Or if somebody else has read 9 books and they're 400 or 500 pages or more? Do we have to compete? And do we compare ourselves? And do we compare other people to ourselves? Why are we doing that if we are? The short answer is no, hell no. Who cares how long your books are? Who cares if you read 400 books in a year, but most of them are 100 to 150 pages? Who cares? They're still books. Now, I'm going to show you a comparison. Like I said, I compiled 2 piles. I have a pile of shorties and I have a pile of longies, long books. And let me show you where I'm coming from, okay? Okay. First, I'm going to show you the long books. One of my favorites of all time is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This book has 1,243 pages. Probably my favorite book is Middlemarch by George Eliot. This particular version has 889 pages. One of my favorite nonfiction books is Red Comet by Heather Clark. This book has 937 pages. And a very long fantasy novel that I read a few years back and truly enjoyed is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. And her next book is coming out at the end of this month, which I am looking forward to. This book has 827 pages. Now, the combined page total of those 4 books is 3,896 pages. So, can any one person read all of those in 1 week? Frick no. There's no possible way. I can't even imagine anybody reading full time, you know who you are, could read all of those books in 1 week. I don't know. Okay, now, we're going to compare that to the pile of short books that I have. So I have 4 long books here. Here's my short books. These are all books I've read. The first one is Citizen by Claudia Rankine. This book has 162 pages. Hurricane Season by Fernanda Melchor, translated from Spanish by Sophie Hughes, has 210 pages. This was a brilliant book. I rated this 5 stars last year, I think. Loved it. This one is a short story collection, Bezoar and Other Unsettling Stories by Guadalupe Nettel, translated from Spanish by Suzanne Levine. This has 108 pages. Daisy Miller by Henry James. Yes, it's in its own book, but it only has 75 pages. Still a book. I still read it. Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton only has 150 pages. A lot of these books I read for Shorty September last year. Helen Garner's The Spare Room has 175 pages. It's on the long end of the shorties. poetry collection, When My Brother Was an Aztec by Natalie Diaz, has 102 pages. Another poetry collection, Stag's Leap by Sharon Olds, has 90 pages. There are 8 of these short books. So the total page count for all 8 of these books is 1,072 pages. So what makes me a better reader? If I read 3,896 pages, but there's only 4 books, or if I read 1,072 pages, but there are 8 books, I got double. The page count is astronomically higher with the 4 long books. It's 3.5 times longer or more pages than the stack of 8 short books. What does this all mean? Does it all matter? It doesn't frickin' matter. None of it matters. The only way it matters is if you are going by a stupid Goodreads goal of quantity. It only matters if you are in a contest with another booktuber or a friend or a reader and you have some funny, fun, tongue-in-cheek contest. Hey, let's see how many books we can read in a weekend. That's the only way it counts. Who cares? And I want to know who the manager is. I want to know where the rules are. Where are they posted? There aren't any because it doesn't matter. That'll give me a mean paper cut. This one, I could take out your eyes and blind you for life. So is anybody going to argue that these are all worthy books to read no matter their length? I would hope not, because I'll fight you. What does it matter if we're reading a certain genre or a certain quantity or a certain length? So if you are competing against Goodreads, which is basically what Amazon wants you to do, if you are competing against a self-imposed Goodreads goal, Goodreads is not going to find you a good reader if you're only reading enough books to, enough of these chunky books. Your quantity is going to go down. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do next? But you can fill up your Goodreads goal with books like this. Who cares if you do? Who cares if a person who only reads giant books reads 300,000 pages in a year versus a bunch of short books and only reads 100,000 pages in a year? Who cares? But people, let's just all enjoy our reading. Let's just all take the joy in whatever we pick up and whatever we choose. Let's just absolutely love our life if Middlemarch is our favorite book. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. I already said that. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.